Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I hope you're doing amazing. Well, so today's topic is rather, it's a question for you to ponder upon. Are you judging your past self with the expanded perspective of the present? To listen to that carefully, for you to be able to understand what I'm going to talk about, I'm repeating it again. Are you judging your past self using the expanded perspective of the current? If you are a high performer, a perfectionist, someone, a go-getter, a person who is driven and always wants to excel, then analyzing things would come naturally to you. You would definitely analyze your performance, how you have shown up. And as you do that, although it's a good space to be in, but there are times I know, based on my own personal experience and experience with my clients, that there comes a point where we tend to self-criticize and self-loathe ourselves. Whatever we did in the past, we would pick one instance and then would scrutinize it and sit in self-criticism, self-loathe, and regret. And there would also come a point where we would be shrouded by self-shame. Now, there is a distinction between shame and regret or guilt. Shame is when you consider yourself to be flawed, when you in entirety consider yourself to be flawed. However, regret or guilt is when you consider that action that you took to be not so desirable. That's a different space to be in. So, if you find yourself being in that mode of self-criticizing, because many times we use this as an opportunity to propel us forward, to do better. But there is a hindsight to that, and that is it curbs you of the joy of experiencing your greatness, of experiencing and acknowledging yourself for whatever good you have done. Because remember, that very critical aspect got you where you are today. It sort of helped you to move forward and be the best every time. But then I'm 100% sure that this attitude also drains you of your energy by not letting you celebrate your success or acknowledge yourself, the good. And generally, this becomes a habit and a tendency. And so you also start to see not the bright side of the things in others as well. It could be in your team members, it could be in your partner, it could be in your friends, it could be anybody, because the way you show up anywhere is the way you will show up everywhere. By default, that happens. It's an unconscious behavior. So if you find yourself doing this, because remember, you have evolved over the period of time. Whatever decision you took in the past, whatever you did in the past, whatever choices you made in the past, you did the best that you could based on what you knew, what you had, what you felt, what you thought. Now, at this point, coming to an evolved perspective, coming to an expanded perspective, if you start judging and criticizing your past self, the younger self, then it is not fair. You got to be fair if you have to do that, because if you start doing that, you will fall in a cycle of constant criticism, constant, pessimism, and it would show up in your being, the way you present yourself to the world, the way you show up in any aspect of your life, and that's not a good space to be in. So, drop that and start acknowledging. Start first seeing, are you doing that? And then acknowledge yourself, celebrate your growth, because this journey is what matters. Just like the butterfly. First, it's in the cocoon and then it flies and becomes that butterfly, beautiful butterfly. But if you start judging the pupa, which is there in the cocoon, by being the butterfly now and saying that, hey, you know what, you could have done this better, this, that, metamorphically, then it is not fair. So stop beating yourself up, acknowledge yourself. It is not boasting, it is not being narcissistic, but appreciating yourself. Because remember, if you don't, that means you're also demeaning yourself. That means you're also too involved with self. Well, with this, I would like to leave you here with this question again. Are you judging your past self with the expanded perspective that you have now? And if so, what would be that first step that you would like to do to acknowledge yourself and celebrate the growth and evolution that has happened so far? And we all know that there is no end to this evolution. The process of evolution is an infinite process, and so celebrating the journey is what matters the most. With loads of love, until next, take care, deep bow.